Hello everyone, welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments. I'm not going to make you wait too long. We finally got the right Werewolf deck. Since Werewolf was buffed, I've wanted him to work. You know I love Bounce. We've got the Bounce Werewolf deck. I'm completely in love with this list. We've also got the best Makkari list I've played. I played it plus 1,000 snap point, 1,000 snap points, plus 1,000 rank in the infinite leaderboard, back up to like 3,000. And we've got a amazing deck from FAK Crazy. Let's go. This is .go's Wolfhawk. This is the Werewolf deck that we have been waiting for since day one of the Werewolf buff. When Werewolf went back from being a 4-4 to a 3-1, this is the deck we wanted. I played this for 18 games. I'm 18-3. Geo thinks that this is one of the best decks in the game, and Geo is one of the best players in the game. If you don't know, he won our last major Marvel Snap tournament, and he was third in the World Championships, and he's been number one on the Infinite Leaderboard, and he's the best bounce player in the world, arguably the best player in the world. He put this together. No one else has this list. This is exclusive. This list is freaking incredible. Fast in this list is so huge. This is the best Grandmaster list I've ever played, period, bar none. Getting that extra Widow, getting that extra trigger off Sage as a surprise, getting that extra Demon, get like that Bash trigger when you just drew Hood, all that stuff, or that extra Rock for Corey. It's all incredible. This list is so good. I'm, again, completely absurdly in love. If you are having trouble in this Zoo meta, I urge you to try this. Hell, you Darkhawk at the end, and then just make sure you don't Shadow King your Werewolf. You Shadow King that one lane that they're saving to Gilgamesh, and it feels so good. All right, so you can find .geo at twitter.com/.geo. .geo is going to do an English bounce stream relatively soon. I'm telling you, if he does this, I'm going to make him give me the VOD if I could, like, at all convince him, and we're going to do a video out of it on this channel of him teaching everyone bounce, because y'all need to get good at bounce. Bounce is amazing. So for this list, Nico can be Falcon. Perfectly fine change. I like Nico a lot. Nico is obviously cheaper, but you want a second way in any of these lists. Let's look. In any of these lists, you want a second and ideally a third way to get rid of your Hood. So we have the Bast way to get rid of the negative from the Hood. We have the Nico way, which is turn it into a demon, give it +2 strength, destroy it to draw 2. And of course we have Beast. So we want multiple ways to get rid of Hood. We can also just sometimes leave it on the damn board and drop Sage in that lane and be totally fine. Grandmaster or Werewolf can be Absorbing Man. Yeah, Absorbing Man's actually a reasonable Werewolf replacement in this. I know it seems crazy, but you need Sage, right? So if you go Sage on with something else, let's say you don't see Darkhawk on turn 5, Sage with something else on turn 5, right? Like you drop, I don't care, a Widow and Sage, and then you drop a Absorbing Man on turn 6, you're in really, really great shape. Especially if you can Shadow King a different lane. You're in amazing shape. So that is a fine replacement. Grandmaster could also be Absorb Man here. I think Absorb Man is just really, really good in the list. One of the things you really like to do is there was this point where Black Widow was the best card in the meta when it costs 2. And so basically what you're getting out of it now is the same thing. You would go Black Widow on 2, Beast it on 3, and then play it again on 4. You're doing the same thing now except with Grandmaster, and it's a snap condition. It wins a lot of games. Grandmaster can be Mordo or Falcon. White Widow's best change is Mordo, like period. For no White Widow, add Mordo. It's not as good, but like if you go Mordo into excuse me, name of the card, into Black Widow, into Grandmaster, like your opponent just got a 6 that they can't play, and then 2 zeros they can't play, and they are going to be struggling. I believe Sage and Darkhawk are totally needed for this list. So, of all the high series cards here, like, hopefully you have Darkhawk. Darkhawk's Series 4 and, like, a year and a half old. So Sage is the only newer high series card you really need to run this deck. All right. I'm completely in love with this list. I'm 11-3 on my tracker, and I went either 7 or 8. I lost track a little bit. And on my phone while I was just screwing around at work. This list is wildly good. Turn 1, you almost always want a core. You want to give them maximum chance to draw that stupid rock. That's generally better than Bast, which is generally better than Hood. You obviously want a Bast specifically when you have cards that benefit from it in hand. So Bast before Hood is like a thing that says you have both in hand, because obviously getting +6 power on that Hood from Bast is stellar. You are especially looking to Hood on turn 1 if you don't have a turn 2 play, because then on turn 2 you can drop 2 1s just fine, and that is one of your key plays. Also, someone asked what to do with Nico in lists. So generally speaking, you want Nico to turn Bast, Hood, or Korg into a demon, or sometimes Grandmaster. You can use it for draw with Grandmaster, Hood, Bast, or Korg, or you can give a card +2 strength in a pinch. Also, copying Sage is absolutely stellar. I love copying, because you can copy one of the Widows, you can copy your Korg, you can copy your Demons, those are fine. But my favorite card to copy here is Sage. So turn 3, if I have Werewolf, I'm almost always dropping Werewolf, unless my hand is very awkward or there's something clogging the board. If they've already dropped a White Widow, for example, I might want to forego Werewolf in that game. If I've got that Squirrel location, I might want to forego Werewolf. In those cases, I will play Black Widow on that turn. I can White Widow just fine on turn 2 as well. 2 1s Grandmaster White Widow is the turn 2 play. So that Black Widow or Werewolf on turn 3, I'm much more likely to Widow if I've got the Grandmaster in hand. And obviously, I guess it's not obvious, but if you're confused about where to play, avoid the middle location where possible. You're trying to play around the corner so that you can decide what you want to Grandmaster where possible. If you don't have that Widow or Werewolf and you have a couple 1s out and you have Beast, you would really like a Sage, and then you can spend turn 4 bouncing Sage. One of the things I've done is I've played Sage mid where they have stuff and I only have a little bit, and then I have cards in the left location, and I then can play Beast and Grandmaster, and I'll Beast back one lane and then Beast back another lane for just a ridiculous next turn going into turn 5. All right, turn 5 is usually Darkhawk, and then turn 6 are Demons and Sage, and then whatever other ones. Be careful, sometimes you will want to like just leave Werewolf alone. It's a really great trick to just sort of ignore Werewolf at the end of the game if he's like he's fairly often like 11 power, and you just leave him sitting there, right? Like the opponent's going to try and figure out where Werewolf goes, you leave him sitting there, and you fill another lane with your stuff like Sage, and then you've competed in all 3 lanes, and you can win. This is a potential 3-lane threat deck. You tend to only really commit into, but you are, because of Werewolf, largely, you are threatening all 3 lanes. This list is, again, stellar. Please play this list. This list should be meta. I want to see everyone who can play this list be playing this list coming soon. This is one of the best decks in Marvel Snap, period, bar none. I have no doubt. This has my 1000% seal of approval. But don't leave, because we got more great stuff for you coming up after asking you to hit that sub button, hit that like, hit that comment. We bring you more top-notch exclusive decks than anyone in the whole freaking community. We have all the Marvel Snap news you want. Everything you need for your Marvel Snap journey is here. Hit that sub button, ring that notification bell. We are also giving away a season pass on this video. I'm going to tell you what to do for that after this next deck, so don't miss it. After this next deck, I'm going to tell you how to win a season pass. But first, you got to like and you got to comment. Make sure you like and comment. Watch as long as you can. It helps us with that algorithm. We also, if you want gameplay from these decks, check out the stream team. The stream team is our friends that stream these decks. Tonight will be Gaming with FlashX at 5 p.m. Eastern. Then tomorrow, Tuccrr's a day early this week, we'll have these decks. I'm also going to bug some more people to play that first deck. Flash is a phenomenal player, but he doesn't love bounce because, you know, nobody's perfect. All right. This is the best Makkari deck I've played, bar none. I tried out a few Makkari decks, and then I climbed 1,000 ranks in Snap with this, and a lot of that. So I don't know if you checked your game right now, but there is the win with less than 10, right? There's that win with less than 10 weekly mission thing. So I've been snapping late to try and chase people away instead of snapping early to keep them in when I know I'm going to win. This list is crazy. Straight up, Moon Girl is stellar. Like stellar within this list. Makkari makes Moon Girl work, and so Makkari is here. Makkari is sort of whatever. She's like a totally fine card, but what she's really, really here for is she's here because she makes Moon Girl work. Oh, one more thing though. When I ran this list, I cut America Chavez. Instead, I ran Quinjet. Quinjet is an awesome card here. If you get that Moon Girl, if you get Moon Girl and Sarah, turning those duped cards to 1 cost is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, you feel like you can't lose. Like, snap the shit out of those hands if you think you're going to get that combo going. If you can get Quinjet, Moon Girl, Sarah, like, you're just in heaven. And it happens a reasonable amount of the time. Even if you're just, like, Forge shawing at that point, right? Like, you're just like, okay, let's drop 1,000,000 power for stupidly cheap. You can find, by the way, the creator of this deck is Snap Variants, who shares exactly what the name sounds like at twitter.com/snapvariants, awesome human being, one of my favorite people in the community. You should totally be following if you're on that hell side of an app. All right, so Makkari, this is like the only must-have Makkari deck, I think. Outside of, if you don't really love Surfer in this list, I think Makkari is a skip, although I will have other decks for you tomorrow, as always. This is the only list I tried that Makkari felt like both a necessity and really great. Makkari is needed specifically for the Moon Girl thing, and the Moon Girl thing is specifically why you're running this variant of Surfer. I think Shaw is important as well. Nocturne and Red Guardian can be Cosmo, Gladiator, Juggernaut. Just sort of any good 3-drop. They are nice tech cards, but not needed. If you don't have Red Guardian, though, I would strongly urge you to try out that Rogue. I think Rogue is really good. There's a lot of ongoings that Red Guardian handles for you that you just don't want to deal with that bullshit. All right. I didn't check my stats. I should have checked my stats. I, again, rose a shit ton of snap points. But snap variance was 21-9. 30 games is a reasonable sample for the first few hours after a new card. In Infinite, of course, plus 43 cubes, which is like a 1.3 cube average. This is legit. So turn 1 America over Nova. For me, Quinjet over Nova. I played exactly 1 game with America. Didn't play her and went, wow, Quinjet would have been really great here. Turn 2 Forge. Then you want to Brooder Shaw if possible. You Nocturne if you think there's a location that you can get rid of, and you Red Guardian if there's a specific card you would like to get rid of. Once in a blue moon, you'll Killmonger here, but it's real rare. I don't hate early Killmongers of Brain Quinjet, but like you can usually wait for that. Then you've got Moon Girl on turn 4, or you can do the same basic plays as turn 3. Turn 5 is the same place as turn 3, or obviously Sarah. Sarah's your key play. I don't know why I didn't write that. It felt so blindingly obvious, excuse me. And like there's several snap conditions here, right? Like if you know you have Surfer and one of these combos, like the Moon Girl combo, or the Brood and Shaw and or plus Nova Killmonger combos, or with Sarah, you're just going to town. And then turn 6 is Surfer and Killmonger, or double Surfer. If you drew in a weird order, you're going to have to decide whether it's better to Killmonger off that Nova, or get, for example, a Brood down. One game, I had Quinjet and Sarah, and I just emptied my hand. I played 2 Broods, a Surfer, I had a Killmonger with 2 Novas, and my Shaw got to just like 25 power. It was just so much fun. This list is so cool. Please check it out. Again, I like Quinjet more than America Chavez. Which makes the deck, I guess, more Series 3 heavy, but this is a relatively cheap list because I'm telling you right now, if you happen to be like a person who did X23 and you got Makkari, I still don't think it's worth opening for Makkari. We'll revisit that again tomorrow and the next day. But if you happen to have Makkari and Shaw, then you can play this list. All right, before we get to the custom card challenge, let's stick right here. Cool? What we are going to do for this way to win a season pass, because I know some people still don't have it and Gilgamesh is now a meta card, is you're going to tell me what variant you've been looking for forever that hasn't shown up. Right before going live, our friend Two Ties, whose name you'll hear at the end of the video, sent me a deck that he made for me, and the Hip Abomination, the one hip I'm missing, was in it. That's my card. What is the one variant that you're just dying to show up in your shop that has not? The other variant I've been waiting forever for that I'm never going to own now. I wanted the Thanos, the Peach Momoko Thanos, but I'm also not spending like... They're all 1,200 gold, and I only have like 2 or 3 of those variants. I'm not buying like 9,000. I'm not spending $100 on that variant, basically. So much for that. All right, custom card challenge. It is Wednesday, and what that means is we do our Drewberry custom card challenge. We miss you, Drewberry. Drewberry fundamentally lets us use a space on his Discord to do a custom card challenge. We did, in honor of Pride. So Father's Day. We did Pride 2 weeks ago, excuse me. It was Father's Day, and it was on reveal as the keyword. So our first winner is Kerbex. Kerbex made this boar, who is Odin's father, Thor's grandfather, a 4/2. On reveal, +2 power for each on reveal effect you activated this game. I think that this is a really cool effect that I would really like to see. This is sort of like Better Sage or Different Sage for negative and Wong decks. You go negative Wong magic, and this can just become stupidly huge. It's going to be like a 420. In most decks, is this going to be huge? No. But like, it's a super cool combo card that I would absolutely love to see. Our next, we have Corsair from Poisoned Wit. Corsair is the father of Cyclops and Havoc and Dakin, or not Dakin. What's his stupid name? Ken. No, I don't remember his name. Somebody help. Oh, Vulcan. There we go. And Vulcan. So he is the father of those characters. He's unreveal +1 power for each card here that's not at base power. So like the obvious use for this is sort of similar to Sage, right? Except and it's a 3, so it works with Surfer. Except that like it works on opponent cards, so if you give your opponent's cards a negative power, it should work that way too. So like hazmat decks and junk decks with like Scorpion, stuff like that should work really well, as should High Evolutionary, and I think that's super cool. One of my favorite builds, I got an Infinity ticket at some point with a High Evolutionary Surfer list, and not Infinity ticket, an Infinity border with High Evolutionary Surfer, and that will always have a warm spot in my heart. So props to Kerbex and Poisoned Wit for your wins. Our next week challenge, which we're actually going to skip next week because it's like the last week of school and I'm going to be drowning again and time gets tough. Our theme is summer because I will be on summer vacation and the keyword is growth. If you would like to participate, please join Drewberry's Discord. The link to that is in the description of this video. And if you'd like to make your own custom cards, check snaptracker.me/custom. Last deck is not KM Bloki. KM has been promoting this Bloki list. He's dominating with it. This ain't my favorite Bloki list, and I had a Bloki list like 2 weeks ago. Remember that day, like 2 weeks ago, I did the like 4 Loki lists. There was a 5th, and I felt like I was ridiculous, and Crazy wasn't really trying at the time, but Crazy had a Bloki, and then Crazy got to like the top 5 with his Bloki, and I felt like I should probably share it. So if you would like to play Cam's list, obviously feel free. Cam is brilliant. I personally like this list a lot better. This is FAK Crazy, the person who is number 1 in March and April on the Infinite Leaderboard, and then it didn't show up as number 1 in April, and has since not really been competing for the top because he's annoyed, but still chills in the top 20 because he's one of the best players in Marvel Snap. He created this Bloki list. He was the first person to create a Bloki list that I saw, Bloki being Blink. All right, so you can find Crazy Now streams in English, just for the record, at twitch.tv/crazymsnap. So if you'd like to watch probably the best ladder player, it's like a war. Like I would personally consider the 3 best ladder players, like straight up that try on ladder right now, to be Crazy. Well, I guess Sizer, Crazy, Sizer, BBAK, and Tanjo. Those are like the big ones. Woody's right up there, but Woody plays more jank than they do. They're more like, I guess Sizer plays a bunch of jank too. So, okay, fine. The other 3 are probably the most like regularly competitive, and then Sizer and Woody if you want some brews. This is, you can find Crazy. Please, please, please go follow Crazy M Snap. You will not regret it. Again, if you want to get good at Marvel Snap, watching the best players play and explain their moves is a great way to do so. Asking questions, he'll answer. All right, so Nico or Snowguard can be Maria Hill or Agent 13. I love Nico in this list. Nico and Loki is a thing I've missed for a long time. My highest win rate lists ever had Nico and Loki. Jeff and Widow can be Scarlet Witch, Medusa, Nightcrawler. They're good, but they're just good cards here. Redguard or Nocturne can be Cosmo or Gladiator. Again, good, but just good cards. But I would not play this without Loki, Blink, and Mobius. Without Mobius, you just die to other Loki decks. It's how you win those matchups. It's worth noting that Sizer built his Bloki list off this list, and he runs Dino, Juggernaut, and Cosmo over Nocturne, Widow, and Nico. He runs Dino because sometimes you don't want a Loki, and he would really like that extra target for of Dino. And sometimes you draw Loki, right? If you draw Loki, just fucking play Loki. And Sizer runs Juggernaut and everything, and when you run Juggernaut, you run Cosmo. That's basically the reasoning for those changes. All right, so this is my favorite Bloki list. This one, not the Sizer one. No offense to the Sizer one. I think the Sizer one's great. I think this one is basically like control cards and get Loki, and this is a meta where get Loki wins games. So turn 1, Quinjet is better than the other ones. Turn 2, Cable is better than Jeff, is better than Widow. Once in a while, you'll Jeff or Widow for his pending locations, but usually Cable. Turn 3, Coulson versus Mobius versus Nocturne. If you're playing a deck that you know is running like Mockingbird, you get Mobius out no matter what. If you're playing a deck that is running Loki, you get Mobius out no matter what. If not, Coulson will help you get set up for your Lokis, and Nocturne will help you if there's a bad location. Turn 4, Loki if you can. If you can't, then play a 3, and then you blink into Loki. The only 4, if you played a 3 on turn 4, that you can draw is Blink, which is Loki, which is absolutely perfect and basically guarantees you that you're getting those 2 turns of Loki. You'd really, really, really like to Quinjet before then. I'm this is my crazy idea. I'm not trying this because I'm not that crazy. Is to sort of get rid of White Widow and Jeff and Cable and just run Domino in that part, because Domino doesn't help you draw all your cards more, but it makes you more likely to draw one. And you really want Quinjet. Quinjet Loki is like the strongest thing in the game. And then turn 6, you're probably going to play generated cards. And if you didn't get generated cards, unless you got something good from Cable or Coulson, you're likely to run. But you're trying to win off your control cards in general. Ooh. This list lives and dies on Loki. This is like the Lokiest Loki that's Loki. Got it? All good. All right, if you're interested in a major tournament with the best players in Marvel Snap and you're free on June 23rd or June 30th, check out Snap Masters, a tournament that we are helping sponsor with a $350 prize pool. There will be a group stage after the qualifications, and then the finals will be July 28th. Snap Masters already consists of Sizer, Spyro, FAK, Andre Var, and I lost them. The top 4 of the last one, Sizer won it. Sizer's a beast. Sizer's streaming. I need Sizer to make a deck so I can scream at everyone to follow Sizer, because following Sizer is a joy. I spent so long on his stream today. Invitees for the tournament are Johnson, Tori Kuhn, Desmond, Lambie Series, W, Brade, and Husky Puppies. Those are all absolute top Marvel Snap players. I'm trying to get them to invite .go, because Jesus, this would be the best tournament ever. And then open qualifications. You think you can compete with these monsters? Check out that tournament. The link is in the description to this video. Question of the day, and then we outie. Don't forget to compete for that season pass if you missed it earlier. It's right before the custom card section. 2 ties, that's the best way to stay collection complete. And you take out the most, as Roy loves to say, I know it's not his saying, but he says it every week, the most powerful card in gaming, your credit card, and you spend. The best way to stay collection complete, honestly, is to be collection complete and then build up a stockpile of resources. And once you've got that stockpile of resources because you're collection complete, you can just buy the season pass and basically never run out of stuff. Koire asks if it'd be cool if Void and Sentry were Quantum Entangled, as in what happens to one, what happens to both. So I don't think so, because those cards are established and they have a role in Marvel Snap, but I think that is a really cool idea for a design of Quantum Entangling 2 cards, a card that generates another card, and what happens to one happens to both. I think would be ridiculously cool, and I love that design idea. Kertix Lee wants a max Apathy cap that when you get boosters works for other that when you hit Agatha's max, you start getting boosters for other cards. So I don't think that's ever going to happen, because they don't want to encourage more people to play Agatha. The penalty for playing Agatha is that you only get Agatha boosters, right? If you can get farm anything after a certain amount of time, all that does is increase the amount of Agatha in Marvel Snap, and that is not a goal they have. And Odium Ed is curious about trading variants. Okay, so here's the problem with trading variants. I don't know if they have a way to do that, such that I can't trade you one of my Werewolf variants if you don't have Werewolf. Right? If what I would do is basically immediately take all my community and trade all of my Series 4 and 5 variants that I could for various bullshit that I don't care about, right? Because once I have the card, then everyone has all those cards, and second dinner loses a lot of money. So they don't have a real reason to do that. However, I want to offer this as an option. If any of you have like a really great idea for card acquisition improvement and you can sell it and explain it well enough, drop me an email on Snapchat's podcast, drop a comment, drop me a message on Discord, and I'll be happy to listen to it. And if I agree that it's a really good idea, I will happily take it to second dinner. I like the idea of trading variants, but I think they lose money, and I don't think they're going to do an idea that's basically just lets lose money. So if you have an idea that basically helps card acquisition and makes them money, let me know. I have no problem repeating it to them. All right, certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. So I'm going to say thank you to Abigail Gleason, Mandatory Burnout, hello friend, Cables, regardless, it is a word, David G. Wingfield, Dire Wolf, Always Kind, LAB, FaThorNewman. FaThorNewman, check him out on YouTube and Twitch, going for partner, help out our friend. Good Dog Gamer, a beast. This is the way, all the way from Scotland. Inc. I am Frostman, yes you are. Jay Never Eats, Hallowed, welcome to our new friend. Kertix Lee, the king of questions, question last slide. Koire, also question this week, all the way from Japan. The Great Pyrophros, the Goat Seeker, my common opponent on ladder. The one and only Denman Falcon. Doc D, the king of new card content. Fat Dick, Doku, Jinja Prime, hey Ginge. Philip Rakovich, the Ratko and Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, Rob Silverman, one of the OGs, the Old Dirty the Mesa, Xers V and Skippy G are rhyming friends. Tommy Nyquist, who won Snap Judgments League Season 1, and just gonna say, now is helping us out by sponsoring the next couple seasons. The King of Bros, bruh. Black Dahlia, the Great Kazoo, Jessica Campbell, Ryan Wood, Woody, Kev C. Hoda, hey Kev, Luna Chris, my former student, Lou Antonis, Mod Supreme Models, the one and only Darth Vader, Remus Etala, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, another new friend, Jason B., the Fuzzy Dunlop Spectrumix, who, Matt H. DJ Mikey Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Ocularis, Mr. Craig Sterry, Pretty Damn Chill, Seamus, who fell behind, Jonesy, Two Ties, who we talked about earlier, told you to hear his name again, the Pirate King Tuccrr. Second I'm done with this, I'm going to go watch Tuck stream, the Homie Min, hope you're doing well, shoot me a DM Min, and of course, the one and only, the great Gunny T, where the T stands for. Try that first deck, please. It's so good. I really love that first deck. Like, all these decks are good, right? I don't want you to buy Makkari for that second deck as much as I think it's really good. But, like, yo, that first deck is the shit. That's it. Check out the Patreon. Hit that sub. We'll see you tomorrow, where we'll have top players telling you all about what they think about Makkari. Spoiler, mid. Peace.